everyone, I'm Sandy and this is Creative Discovery in PaintShop Pro. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, a very warm welcome. Please click on the subscribe button in the bottom right hand corner to be able to find your way back to my channel and my videos. Today's tutorial, which is number 7, is another one without the use of plugins. This one is an intermediate level tutorial, but probably a little bit higher than a couple of the others that I have done. There is an image from Pixabay and there is a zip file. Now the links for those are in the description box below. So grab those things and then open up PaintShop Pro and I will see you for the tutorial. Here is a little preview of what we are going to be making in this tutorial. Right, first of all you need to get all your supplies ready and open in PaintShop Pro these corners. We can minimize those for the moment, and also the blue poppies, you can minimize those. Have your mask in your mask folder. This image of this little girl, duplicate Shift D and close the original. Then we are going to resize this by 30%. And resize all layers. Doesn't really matter because we only have one layer. Click OK and just sharpen that back again. Right click on your background layer and promote background layer, so it is now raster 1. Then open a new image that will be 600 by 400, raster background and transparent. Now select all, and you can do that with Control A or selections and select all. We're now going to copy this image and paste it into this one, into selection. Then deselect that with Control D. Now we're going to go to blur. You can go to adjust, blur, Gaussian blur. If you have built your toolbar in my course, you will have all of these icons on the top and you can just click on that, and we are going to use a radius of 15 and click OK. Next we're going to do seamless tiling. I again have an icon. If you don't have that, you'll have to go to Effects, Image Effects, Seamless Tiling, and select corner and horizontal and have the transition at 100. This horizontal offset will be on 0 and click OK. All of the other settings will be grayed out. Now grab your selection tool and we're going to place it on ellipse, replace, a feather of 50, anti-alias, and selection will be normal. Now start on her nose. We want her face to be more in the center, and when we draw out a selection with an oval or an ellipse or a circle, it will pull out from the center, and you want it to be more of an oval this way. Now don't worry that it goes too far to the top, it won't matter, we won't see it if it's chopped off. Now copy that and then paste it over here as a new layer. Now you can see that it is chopped off across the top there. Now that is not going to matter once we have finished everything, you won't even see it. We have actually finished with this image now, so you can either minimize it or close it down. Now put these colors into your foreground and background box. We're going to have a dark purple, which will be 483A54, and I got these colors from the image. And then you also need a light color, which will be E1D4F0. So it doesn't matter which box you place them into at this stage. Now we are going to make a new raster layer and we are going to flood fill it with the dark color. Now I have an icon here for load mask from disk. If you don't have that, you will need to go to layers, load save mask, and load mask from disk. Now you're going to find the mask I supplied in the zip file, which is Shalimar Mask 88. This is what it looks like. Now you're going to have source luminance, fit to canvas. You'll need to tick the invert transparency and hide all mask, and then click load. Then merge the layer group, and again I have an icon, or you'll have to go up to layers and merge group. Now activate the magic wand with the settings of replace. Match mode on opacity. Have the tolerance on 20 and contiguous will be ticked. Use all layers will not be ticked. Take the feather back to 0. Have the anti-alias ticked and have inside. Now you're going to select inside of this top bar. Then hold your shift key down and also select the one at the bottom. We're going to make a new raster layer and then we're going to flood fill that with the light purple colour. Then we're going to blinds. Now if you don't have a blinds icon, you need to go to effects, texture effects and blinds. You're going to set the width at 2 and the opacity at 50. Horizontal will be ticked and the colour, right click and choose your background colour. Click OK. Right click on that layer, which is raster 3, go to properties and lower the opacity to 50. Click OK. Now we're going to add a bevel to that. We will have bevel number 10. The width will be 3. The smoothness will be 0. The depth will be 3. The ambience is 0. Shininess is 0. Color white. Angle 315. Intensity 50. Elevation 30. And click OK. Now deselect with Ctrl D on your keyboard. Now activate the magic wand again. This time we're going to click in the side panels, but we need to activate group raster 3 first, which is where the mask is. So click the side one and then hold the shift key down again and click the other side. Add a new raster layer and we're going to flood fill with the dark purple. Then go back to your blinds and change the color to the light. So you would right click and find the light one here and untick this horizontal. The other two settings will stay the same. And click OK. Right click on that layer, which is now raster 4, go to properties and lower the opacity again to 50 and click OK. We're also going to apply inner bevel to that. We are going to apply the same inner bevel, but change the bevel to number 11. Keep the other settings and click OK and deselect that with Ctrl D. Now go back to the group raster 3 and activate that. Activate the magic wand tool again and we are going to click in here, but we need to change this tolerance to somewhere between 40 and 50. Okay, now I've used 45 and I've clicked in there and there is a tiny little bit down here that is not selected. Now to get that bit we're going to activate the selection tool and put it on rectangle, and you can either change this to add or you can hold the shift key down. I prefer to hold the shift key down, it's just easier. Make sure there's no feathering. You'll see your move tool there. Now click the shift key down and it will change to the selection tool. Now you're going to select that section. Now make sure the bottom of your rectangle is lined up with those running ends. And there we have that little part now also selected. We are going to make a new raster layer and we're going to flood fill this with a gradient. So go over to your materials palette and click on the gradient, and this is the foreground background gradient, and I have used linear and I've put the angle on 45 and the repeats on 5, and I have the invert ticked, although that doesn't make a lot of difference. It's just that you're going to get your colors in a slightly different place. Click OK and flood fill that with that gradient. Now go to adjust, add remove noise and add noise, or you can use the icon I have here, and you will use Gaussian, monochrome ticked, and this will be 25, and click OK. Now deselect that. Now go back and activate your group raster 3 again. Now we're going to go to adjust, brightness and contrast, and histogram adjustment. Now the settings you're going to use are exactly the same as mine here. Click colors, leave the output maximum and minimum as exactly the same. Leave this ticked. Now your gamma will be 0.73. This is the one that makes the color change. Leave this setting, leave this on red, leave everything as it is. Pretty much if you reset it to default, the only thing you will have to change is colors and the gamma at 0.73. Now click OK. Now bring up your blue poppies and copy and paste them onto your image as a new layer. Now they're probably not at the top, so drag them up to the top. Now we are going to resize this by 40%. Now make sure resize all layers is not ticked. And before we sharpen it, we're going to rotate. Now if you don't have this rotate icon, you need to go to Image, Free Rotate, and that will bring up this same box. Direction will be right. Free at 20, so we're going to rotate it by 20 degrees to the right and click OK. Now sharpen it. If you sharpen before you rotate, you will have to sharpen again because the rotation takes a little bit of that sharpness away. We are going to add a drop shadow, and the vertical and the horizontal will be 5. The opacity will be 50 and the blur will be 5, and the color is black, and click OK. Grab your move tool and move it down into the bottom right corner, but make sure that it stays within that tiled area. We are going to put a border on it, and if your flower goes outside of that tiled area, then you're going to have your flower chopped off. Right click and paste as a new layer again, and this time the flower is going to be resized by 30%. Again, resize all layers is unticked, and click OK. Again, we are going to rotate the same amount. We are now going to sharpen it, and then you're going to go to Mirror Horizontal and Mirror Vertical. Now both of those are in Image, Mirror. Click each one once, and your move tool should still be selected. Now we're going to move it up here. Again, keep it within the tiled area. Now we can merge visible all of those layers. Select all, or you can Control A. Now I have a selection borders here. Now if you don't have this one, you will go to Selections, Modify, and it is in there. We're going to use Inside. Border width will be 25 and anti-alias ticked. Click OK. Now you can see where that border is. Now if your flower is not within those running ants, you need to go back, undo a few things until you have all your layers, and just shift that flower. Now click on the darker purple in your materials palette and replace that color with 536A85. Now you've got a blue, and click OK, and your gradient that was in your foreground box should also have changed. So your gradient is now the new color blue plus the pale lilac. We are going to flood fill that border with that gradient. We're going to add noise, and your noise was in the adjust area here, and we're going to use Gaussian. This time we're going to have 15 and keep monochrome ticked, and click OK. Now we're going to add a texture. Texture is in Effects, Texture Effects, Texture, and then you are going to look for Fine Canvas with the settings of 50 in the size, 5 in smoothness, depth of 1, ambience and shininess both on 0, color white, angle 315, intensity 50, elevation 30, and then click OK. We're going to apply an inner bevel. Inner bevel is in Effects 3D. We are going to use bevel number 6. We're going to have a width of 5. We're going to have a smoothness of 2. Now the depth will be 3, ambience 0, shininess 0, color white, angle 315, intensity 50, and elevation 30. Those are the same settings that we had before. Click OK. And we're going to apply a drop shadow. Your drop shadow is also in your effects 3D. The drop shadow this time will be 15 in the vertical and the horizontal. Your opacity will be also 15 and your blur will be 5 and the color will be black. Click OK. Now we are going to repeat that drop shadow, and the vertical and the horizontal offset we are going to change to -15 and click OK. Then deselect that with Control D. Now open up your silver corners. The corner we're going to use is corner 19. Now if you click on that, you can just drag it over onto your image, or you can copy and paste, whichever you prefer. We are going to resize that corner by 80%. Again, resize all layers is not ticked, and we can sharpen with your move tool. Take it up to the top. Now I want to place it so that the straight pieces down the side are sitting roughly in the center of each part of the border. You're then going over to your layers palette. Up here we have our blend modes. You're going to change that blend mode to Luminance Legacy. We are going to place a drop shadow on that. The drop shadow will be 2 in the vertical and the horizontal. The opacity will be 50. The blur will be 0. The color is black, and click OK. We are going to duplicate that. You can right click on this and duplicate the layer, or if you have the icon, the duplicate layer icon, you can click on that. Now we have 2 sitting here. We are going to flip one over here using the mirror horizontal. Mirror was in your image. We are going to merge those 2 together. If you have the merge layer down icon, use that. Otherwise, go to layers and merge down. Now again, duplicate. This time we're going to mirror vertical, and again we're going to merge, but this time we're going to merge all the layers because we're finished. So again, you'll go to layers and merge all, and there we are finished. Well, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial, and if you did, please give the video a thumbs up. You can also leave me a comment down below. Now, if you're finding PaintShop Pro a little bit difficult to navigate, we do have a course, and for the next few days we have a big reduction on the fees for this too. So pop on over to the website and have a little look. It could be just what you're looking for to get you going in PaintShop Pro if you are struggling. The link for that is also in the description box below. Now have fun with that one, and on Sunday I will see you for another beginner tutorial, so look out for that one. So in the meantime, enjoy PaintShop Pro, and I'll see you later. Bye!